black hole. That's the black hole right there, and this is the results of its existence. It's eventually going to devour me, be I where I be, but it's definitely trying to devour the house, and we are going to try to do something about it. Now, I have a vague memory of where the tentacles struck, so I know that it'll come. Here it is. This is one strike, two strikes, three strikes, four strikes. There was places where they struck, and that's where we have to go and rebuild. So first, obviously, we need to finish cleaning the room because we moved everything around except this part of it. So this is the last part to clean up and try to figure out the frack is going on here. What the frack is going on here? So, you know, how should I put it to you guys? Welcome to my nightmare. The talk, the TED talk, what we're going to call it, is about. I TED talk in English, obviously. It's about space and dark space and space and time, because that's kind of the two elements we're going to play in this role-playing game that is my life. Space and time. Why do we do the things we do? Why do we end up fighting for a house that you wanted to burn ever since it was built? Why do we end up taking our cat to the vet so it can die in peace? Why do we end up? Why do we do the things we do? Why do I do the things I do? Edgar Allan Poe talked about the imp of the perverse. There was a part of us that was like that imp of the perversity in each one of us. And yeah, that definitely qualifies somehow. In my case, certainly in my darker period in life, right now a little bit less, little tiny little bit less, trying to go the right way, and Eightfold Path. I mean, that's kind of like the goal to reach, right? But also a direct and profound communication. Communion with God, your inner God, you know. We talk about sacred feathers, you know, in the Lakota cycles, they give us sacred feathers. They give you, you know, something like a connection to the spirit realm. And the idea is to keep the meditation in that realm, right? So, I can tell you guys, it's heaven all the way to heaven. You know? It's heaven all the way to heaven. And then you come to this room. Let's talk about the clown, because the clown is kind of the, you know, Pennywise. Let's talk about Pennywise, because he's a joker, right? Midnight Toker. Let's talk about clown energy. Cha. The clown, kind of like, how should I put it? Opens up the gate of spirit. He's like the Papa Baron Samedi. He's like the Baron Samedi of the group. He opens up the crossroads and says, "Hey, you guys want to come in?" You know what I'm saying? It's not surprising to me that I was Mictlan in my Oregon ayahuasca journey with Preston and the gang. And it is not surprising to me either. It was the Virgin Mary that got me out of there, not old JC. It's kind of like if you have a magic tree, don't fuck with it. Paint it, maybe, but don't fuck with it. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Fucked up my shoulder. I don't know how, but I fucked up my shoulder, and it's like, ouch, you know. But by golly, I finished my ghostwriting assignment, and I am going to do some housework because this room needs it desperately. This is my room. This is where I used to sleep. This was my space, man. My home. Dirty black hole. Psychedelic black hole, man. That shit hurts. Hurts when that shit happens. You know, my sacred fucking my hideout, you know, my fucking hideout, my pad, my crib. And look at it, man. Look how it ended, man. You know what I'm saying? How many bodies am I going to unearth here, for Christ's sake? Everything in this room, well, not everything. This was used to torture somebody for sure. Not everything, but most of the things in this room have a special meaning to me. They have a special beauty. They have a special. This is my room, guys. This is where I used to live, and I always kept it pretty neat, pretty cool, pretty chill, you know. And through no fault of mine, it ended up like a fracking disaster zone. And here's the funniest thing. When I say no fault of mine, I'm lying. Yes, of course it was my fault. Of course it was my fault. How could it not be my fault? Understood? So don't take everything I say like the word of God or seriously, because it isn't. A frickin' broken piece of shit. You know? Maybe that's my biggest strength, is that I'm not God. I'm just a frackin' broken piece of shit. Who loves spiders, by the way? Spiders get to stay, see? Spiders, I don't mind. They're friends, they're companions. There's a book of mine with, I think the Four Towers? No. King Agua. King Agua. It's, I think the third book on my Magaloka series has a picture on the cover of, what was her name? Our spider that lives in this room. Actually, in the office. She lives at the office, actually. The top of the office. That was the office back then. That one was the office back there. This was my closet. All the skeletons in my closet are here. You know, all the deadly weapons of my self-destruction. And it's good. It's good. Not too bad. Could have been worse, I suppose. Not bad for being on the 88th pit of hell. So I went to speak with a very well-learned man, a wonderful scholar on Vaishnavism, and we spoke of some very important things. We spoke some good shit. We spoke. There we go. See, that's going to leave space for the wood to come here. I'll put the wood here for a minute. This my room is going to become a work room, like a type of work room, and then it's going to become again my room, which is going to it's going to be eventually the toad pond. I want to use this entire space to raise toads. That's the plan, and I think it's probably around a 10-year plan. I think it's going to take me about 10 years, depending on, of course, the amount of money I can raise for the project, because all those things in the end are dependent upon money. You can't build a house if you don't have at least a little bit to buy the raw materials. Now, I am going to be thrifty. I am going to be fiscally conservative. I'm going to work very hard to make sure that my job is done well and done professionally, but also at the least expense possible to everybody involved. I think when we start thinking on how we're going to repair something, how we're going to bring order into a disorderly space, the first thing is to be the inner space, the self, am I sitting correctly? Am I in control of myself? Contrary to popular belief, my health is not as good as it could be. I'm working on that. But part of that is working on my mental health, which is what causes any type of physical ailment. Starts first in the mind. You know, some physical ailments don't. Like maybe my cat's leukemia was not a mental thing, but maybe it was. Maybe if my cat's leukemia had been a little bit less very sudden and very surprising, but not surprising. I saw it coming. She was always different. Makura was always different. She always tended to try to hide from everybody, and she was a timid cat from baby that used to chase her own tail around. So, so maybe it is a mental thing. Maybe. These are dragon eggs, by the way. Papaya seed, maize seeds are dragon eggs. Yellow and red is their color, and they have stripes. They're a yellow seed with a yellow egg with a red stripe, which means that they're probably red dragons. Yellow or red. They'd be yellow or red dragons. Yellow dragons are certainly ancient and very powerful race of dragons. Yeah, guys and girls. Yeah, this is the work. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring in the wood on the hallway and put it here, and that way that'll open up the hallway, and we can start working on the hallway, cleaning up that space. It's like if you're going to work on defeating a black hole, you leave the hardest part to the very end. That's kind of you don't delve deeply into it. You go around it a little bit until you find exactly the point where you need to defeat it or be defeated by it. I suspect in the big cosmic game of chess between life and death, the black hole wins. Just my hunch. I'm not going to film this whole work because I'm going to be logging wood from one place to another. I just wanted to see you guys. I wanted to let you guys see actually my inner mental state. And this is my room. I'm finally getting to clean my room. Jordan Peterson said, "Clean your room." That was his advice for all the great thinkers. And clean your room. Clean your room. Start with that. So I'm cleaning out my room, and I want to recuperate my room so that I can leave the upstairs room for Rousseau, if he so desires to have. And cleaning up my room. Finally. Peace out.